Sony Animation just announced a fantasy adventure movie going to direct by Amphibia creator Matt Brady and writing by Steven Universe Rebecca. Okay, cool. Fantasy adventure movie.
Of all places to find that information, it was not from Tomato Sauce. It was not from the Round Table. It was literally from a 3C Films live stream that I found this information. And that live stream alone is what sparked this video. And I did my due diligence to do as much research as I can possibly on that one thing. And I found so much information on this news that I am really, really excited to talk about. So, man, this is really exciting, people. Like, legit, I am excited to talk about this because this is like a fever dream to me. This is like a fever dream to me because never in a million years I would have thought that this will even be a possibility. And the fact it is just excites me. So, yeah. So yeah, stick around, people, because I'm going to go real deep dive into this. Like, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but yeah, it's going to be a real deep dive into this information. So, let's get this started, shall we? So I want to talk about first on how this movie was going to get Greenlit or developed in the first place through Sony Animation. So I looked through. So what I did was I looked through the article, and I saw in the article that Matt Brawley was actually a storyboard animator. So not animator. Sorry, he was a storyboard artist for The Mitchells vs. Machines, which is a movie that I actually really enjoyed. I think that's my favorite movie of like 2021. And funny enough, I actually didn't learn this till like later on, but I discovered that it actually won an Academy Award for like Best Animated Movie of that year. So yeah, that was a big surprising news to me. I didn't know that, but hey, that's cool. I really like that movie. So yeah, it's happy that movie got a win, got Academy Award win. So that's good to know. I want to clear this up real quick. The Mitchells vs. Machines didn't actually win an Academy Award for Best Animated Movie. It was nominated. It didn't actually win, but it was nominated, really. And I'm gonna clear this out in the video too. I just want to make sure to quickly correct that right here in this little clip. So yeah, I want to clear that out real quick. No, but that's the thing is that he was a storyboard artist for The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and as soon as I saw that, and then after knowing how huge that movie was, yeah, it makes sense. Like, as soon as I saw that, it just like, it clicked for me. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Because, so it would make sense for Matt Brawley to go up to Sony Animation and say like, hey, I was a storyboard artist for The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and that was a huge successful movie that got a lot of praise and actually won an Academy Award. And actually, was it nominated? Did it actually win? I think it was nominated. Actually, no, I think it was nominated. So yeah, I think it was nominated. But yeah, and I got Academy nominated. So yeah, and through that, Sony Animation was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. But then after that, Sony Animation greenlit the movie, and that's how it would get developed through Matt Brawley's connection with Mitchells vs. Machines and how successful that movie is. So it makes sense. That is how this movie would get greenlit in the first place. So, which, by the way, makes sense because connections matter in the film industry. So, in case you didn't know that. But yeah, that after I saw that in the article, so like, yeah, it made a lot of sense that how this would get greenlit. And funny enough, and funny story, true story. I tried looking in like the Mitchells vs. Machine credits to find his name. I didn't find his name for some reason, because I don't know, maybe this movie didn't credit like the storyboard artist for some reason. But I wasn't able to find Alex Hirsch's name and say that he was involved with this thing, because he was like the story consultant for that movie. So yeah, I couldn't find his name for storyboard artist, but I did find Alex Hirsch's name for story consultant, which is crazy. Even Alex Hirsch, the creator of Gravity Falls, is involved with this project too. So that's a little fun fact that I found out when I was looking through the press to find this name. And I had to find this name through like an IMDb thing for storyboard artist for that movie. And then there it was. That's how I actually found his name. And that wasn't really through the credits for weird reasons, but I'm not gonna get into that because that's like, oof. I'm not gonna talk about that, but yeah, that's how where I found that out. So yeah, that's how this movie was able to get made. So moving on to the next thing I want to talk about. The next thing I want to talk about is that the type of movie that Matt Bradley was able to get Sony Animation to make, or to greenlit basically. And basically the headline said itself that he was able to greenlight a Thai fantasy adventure movie. And as soon as I saw that, as the movie that he got in development, I just knew immediately, like, yeah, that is absolutely perfect for Matt Bradley to do that. Because in case you don't know, for Amphibia, in season 1 and 3 of Amphibia, there's at least like one episode for an episode that represents like Thai culture and Thai basically like Thai food and stuff. And basically season 3 went heavily on Thai culture, and well, not heavily, but there was an episode where it heavily talked about like Thai culture, and that's like, and I thought, and that was like so cool to even see that from like a show like this. And I was really happy to see that, because one of my favorite things about, like, especially that episode in season 3 about Thai culture, was that like I was learning about like a culture I never heard of, and learn about all types of stuff about it, and like the language and what they do and what the traditions that happens there, like in the traditions. Yeah, it was just such a cool moment to see from a show like Amphibia, to like show off like different culture through this show, and that was legit one of my favorite. And I was legit like really happy to see that, because we get to see like representation I never really heard of, that I get to see that we get to see in the show, that was able to like embrace that and like, explore that in that episode. So the fact that Matt Bradley is making a movie, a fantasy adventure movie with that involves Thai culture, that was, again, it's perfect for Matt Bradley to do that, because it just fits to what he knows best and what he wants to explore more, like after Amphibia's conclusion, because it feels like he wants to explore more of that, like in the ongoing future. So making a movie that's like Thai fantasy adventure will just not only will fit to his culture and what he knows best about it, but also fits into like the fantasy adventure thing that he's done super well with Amphibia, creating the world based on frogs. Funny enough, he created a world based on frogs and toads, and just basically amphibians. So like that, he was really creative and was able to do that with Amphibia, and it also works well with him, like based on Amphibia he can create a fantasy world, able to make its own history and atmosphere and world and creatures to be involved with that world. And I think he's able to do the same thing here, where he can create this world that has its own history and characters and atmosphere to it. And that, again, that just fits to what Matt Bradley knows so well of doing, that he did so well with Amphibia. But just doing that a whole different scale with an animated feature film. So that's just awesome. That is really cool for Matt Bradley to explore this more in this movie, and actually I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, it's just really cool to see that, because I get to learn more about Thai culture explored through this movie, that yet can also be very entertaining at the same time. So it's actually, you know what? Speaking of which, that reminds me of Coco and what that movie did. Because what Coco does really well is that it explores a holiday through a Mexican cultural lens, and what that does, and explore the creative ways of how you explore that with its own world and atmosphere, and put a good story behind that. So it's Matt Bradley doing what Coco did, but in its own Thai culture way, which again I think is going to be pretty amazing. Also, what he does. Now, I want to read the synopsis for this movie, so that you all can get a clear idea of what kind of movie this is going to be, and also want to discuss some of my opinions on what this movie could explore. I have some theories on this of what this movie could explore, or actually, if I do. what the concept is that I'll give some opinions on. So this is the synopsis for what this movie's gonna be. Drawn from his own cultural background and personal history, the film tells the story of a young boy who goes on an emotional journey to a fantastical world of Thai spirits, where he hopes and have his illness cured. So basically, what I'm thinking from that synopsis alone is that it's probably like it's a boy from what is it a boy? I want to make sure I got the font for this one. Yeah, it's a boy because he uses he. So okay, so it's about a boy that has an illness that has an illness that's probably incurable to like normal doctor's standpoint, maybe, because this is my personal theory on what I think of this. But what I think this movie is probably about a boy that is ill, that is going to find a fantastical world with Thai spirits to hopefully find its cure. And I really like this concept because already there's already motivation with the main protagonist in the movie to go to this Thai world and talk to these Thai spirits to find a cure to his illness. So that's already motivation to the character of what the motivation is for the main character and what he's trying to do, which can also explore the world of the Thai spirits and what they can do, or so what they can do to try to cure his illness. But I don't know what. But that's really all we got. So. But yeah, with that, I just really like that concept alone because that's a really smart way to show a protagonist that has a clear motivation, but also that will take him to this fantasy world so that we can find the cure to his illness, which is like the main goal for the main character, which again, it's really cool already. So that's a very good concept to this story. So and again, just waiting to see more of this and what more details about what this movie can do and how it can get creative with the spirits that it can with the spirits that get introduced in this movie. That really intrigues me because we get to explore different Thai spirits that this movie can introduce and explore about what they can do. So that is something really cool that this movie can explore. And again, it really gets me curious and excited about this movie coming out. So yeah, so that's really like my thoughts right now about the synopsis. So we get more details. Right, probably a trailer soon, hopefully. So yeah, that's really it for the synopsis. And another cool thing is that Matt Brawley is going to be directing this movie, which is freaking incredible and awesome to see him do it. Which keep in mind, this is like his first time like directing really anything, because he has directed before, but that's like through like other cartoons. Like he directed episodes for like Gravity Falls and Dixie Greens, and those are like and that's really all the shows that at least IMDb mentions that he's directed. So he's familiar with directing something, but this is him directing at like a bigger scale in an animated feature, which would technically mean that this will be his directorial debut for like a movie, basically. So yeah, this will be his directorial debut for Matt Brawley, actually, technically, because this is the first like big feature film that he's directing. So it'll be really awesome to explore what he can do as a main director for a movie that he has a big vision for, and he's really passionate about too. So yeah, he's passionate about too. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool to see what he can do as a director, to add like what style choice he can add to, or what direct style that I said that, but what kind of style he can add to as a director to make it like more interesting and fresh to general audiences as well, and also like Amphibia fans like me as well. And to those questioning how you can add style in an animated movie, you can't actually. It doesn't really matter if it's live action or animated. You can actually add style no matter what it is or whatever medium you're using. Because it's style that makes the film unique in its own way. And style is very important for any kind of movie. Because when a director adds style to a movie in general, especially in this movie that we're talking about, it helps sell like the tone and atmosphere for what the overall movie's gonna do, or how it's gonna be, basically. And that's going to be really important for like, especially for fantastical, for a fantasy adventure movie that Matt Brawley is directing. So yeah, style is really important for a director to add to any like movie they're doing, so that way it gets to be unique and has like has the atmosphere that the audience is gonna be like feeling, and the audience is gonna feel in the movie. So yeah, that's why style is important for like for any like movie, animated or otherwise. Because Rock hasn't directed any episodes he hasn't directed any episodes for Amphibia, so it's gonna be a really interesting thing to see. It's gonna be really interesting to see what his directing style is for this movie. So it's gonna be really cool too. And not only that, and another cool thing is that Rebecca Suger is working with Matt Brawley on this film, probably as like co-writer or like the main writer of the script, maybe, but who knows. But still, the thing is that Rebecca Suger and Matt Brawley are working together on this big animated feature film, which is awesome because it feels like a fever dream to me that Matt Brawley and Rebecca Suger are working together again, but for a big animated feature film, which isn't new to these two, because these two have worked together before in the Steven Universe, the last time that these two really worked together was technically on Amphibia, which technically the last time they worked together, which was actually on the Christmas episode for Amphibia, which ironically, I got the Christmas tree light up over there, ready for the Christmas time maybe, get them presents ready, because we're going to be celebrating like all day if you're still like hyped on Christmas. But that's not the point. The last project that these two have worked together majorly on was Steven Universe, because Matt Brawley was part of like the pre-production crew and like storyboard artists for that one too. So yeah, for these two to like work together once again on a big animated feature film, like I said before many times, is a fever dream to me. And it's really cool to have like these two creators who create these shows that I grew up with, is working on this movie. Not only like with Matt Brawley directing and Rebecca Suger writing it with writing the script or writing it with Matt Brawley, and that's not really fully clear yet, but still, the fact she's even involved with writing the script for this thing is awesome. Which actually makes me questioning: is there possibly gonna be any songs in the movie? Because like usually what Rebecca Suger does, and in her works, which by her works I mean like just Steven Universe stuff, really, that's really it. And what she does, she likes to like have that Steven Universe had like songs in the movie, and also the Steven Universe movie as well, because yeah, she was like one of the main writers for that movie. So yeah, the show in the movie, and I think maybe Future, but that's not. But maybe Future, but yes, it includes Future as well. As I had to do a little bit more research to get that answer. So yes, it does include Future. Because for like the show and the movie, that had like a lot of songs in it, and really the movie was like basically just a musical because of how many songs were just in that movie. So she likes to add songs to her work. So it makes me curious, which I'm not saying is gonna be true, but it makes me curious and makes me curious about is this movie gonna have any like songs, like 1 or 2 songs? I'm not expecting this to be a musical or anything, which freaking no, I do not want this thing to be a musical. Don't get me wrong, which I'm expecting them to have like 1 or 2 songs in this thing. Like I'm not expecting this thing to be musical, which I really hope this isn't a musical, to be straight up honest. But I'm thinking this movie could have like 1 or 2 songs, depending on what spirits are going to introduce in this thing. But I'm just as good if it doesn't have any songs. Cause like this is like a good like story that can hopefully fit. But then again, I'm not gonna be surprised if it does have like 1 or 2 songs in it, cause like Rebecca Suger's involvement. Because if you've seen Steven Universe in the movie, you know how like she likes to add songs into her work into that show basically. So yeah, so yeah, like that's really like the little mini theory that I thought of when Rebecca Sugar is involved with this movie. So yeah. Which leads me to another thing, which leads me to making me so excited about this project, is that it's a freaking original animated movie. Which, like I said in my indie animation video, the biggest problem that these Hollywood movies aren't doing recently, that indie projects are doing, is that they're being original, and that they're bringing original ideas to the table, and which is like a huge problem that I have like really talked about in my Indian video, because how really lack of original stuff there is, because either like Hollywood studios just don't want to make these, and how risky they are, or they just don't want to or they greenlit that, or they don't want to market it, or they bombed the box office on purpose because they didn't market it enough, which has happened multiple times now. So instead of this movie being like made and distributed by like Paramount or Warner Brothers, this is distributed like through Sony Pictures Animation, which either way, it has a reputation of like marketing movies, marketing like good movies. Actually, not good movies, but Sony Animation does have a reputation of marketing at least some original projects that are either good or bad. Unfortunately, some are bad too. Yes, I remember the Emoji Movie. That was a thing. I wish I never brought this thing up, but I'm using it as an example. Not defending this movie because it is just boring. Okay, I said my statement on that movie. But either way, it states my point that they do market like original and IP movies, like so that they can at least get people to know that they exist and to see if they're gonna watch it or not. And especially so for a movie that has two creators of popular cartoons involved with this project, they're gonna need to freaking market this thing like absolute nuts. Cause not only once the marketing begins and people know that the creators of Amphibia and Steven Universe are involved, but also general audience to see this too, so that way it can like get more recognition and also get more people talking about it after the movie does release. So that way, like people that has seen the marketing is like, oh yeah, I've seen that in the marketing, I've seen that. So that way, like when people talk about it, everyone can see, which can get more success and like recognition and all that. Basically, just a whole like thing, so that way everyone can at least know that this movie just exists, and also just like as an original movie from two creators like some of the biggest shows in in the 2010s, basically. So that's basically like. So that's basically like the goal. So that's basically like the main goal that I think Sony Animation should do, like marketing wise, for this movie. Because as soon as like enough people see it, this will legit become successful, and get a lot of recognition, and hopefully and I don't know, I might be digging too deep here, but I think this might I don't know, I haven't seen any marketing for it yet, but yet still, the trailer that's still the first trailer come out, I'm gonna go nuts over it, so yeah, that's cool. And last but not least, the last thing I want to talk about is all this stuff I said and all this stuff I mentioned. What does all of this mean? And personally, I think because I know there's a lot of variables, but here's what I'm predicting. If this movie gets released and is successful, so with it having good marketing, getting released, and being successful, what could it mean? Those are just solid. I know there's a lot of variables to that, but still, those are just the solid structure about how it can what can mean later on. Yeah, what I personally think could mean is that it can lead to more original animated films that explores different types of culture in a creative way, Because other than like Coco and Turning Red, we haven't really seen a lot of animated movies or original animated movies that explores that uses culture as like a concept and how it can explore that in a fantastical way. In a fantastical, creative way, basically. Again, like what Coco and Turning Red did, as like the two examples I know. So I think it can lead to more films exploring the different filmmakers and their cultures in different creative ways. After this film, if it becomes successful or not. So that's what I think. That's number one. I think it can do. Another thing I think it can do is that it can lead to other creators that have made popular shows like the creator of Infinity Train, Craig of the Creek, or more than those two. But I think it can lead to more creators who make popular shows to go to Sony Animation and make their own original animated works that that can explore it has a sick concept and story and all of that, basically. So I think that's another thing I think can lead to, because we can like because with like how Sony Animation is doing right now, because also technically it also has like another like show creator that has made a popular show that's making a movie at Sony Animation, and that's, I think, the creator of Samurai Jack, that's making a rated R movie called Fixed at Sony Animation, which is like an adult like animated like movie, which I think is a really cool experimental idea for them to do, that they greenlit, and hopefully to see it come out one day. I'll hopefully be able to see it, how raunchy it is. So like that's gonna be a fun time. So yeah, I mean, so it can lead to like more creators of popular shows to make movies at Sony Animation to be greenlit and marketed right and released right for a wide audience. We see in theaters and make enough money in the box office to be profitable enough. So I think that's another thing that it can do. But that's another thing that it can really do with the effect of this movie, that what it can do and explore, and what kind of gates that it can open after the movie releases. Cause like I said before, it can open up to more diverse animated movies that are original, that explores cultures in different ways, and creative ways, and fantastical ways, and also popular show creators who create popular shows. Basically, I meant like show creators who create popular shows to go with them and make their own like original animated movie that can be well explored and well written, and with a good story, characters, and all that jazz. And plus, like, I mean, this also doesn't have to be like Sony Animation either. It can be like some other studios, like Sony, like DreamWorks, or it can be like what, DreamWorks or Illumination if they want to come explore. Cause like it can be like some adult stuff. Cause I know like Illumination is making like an adult, like an adult like studio thing that like Moonlight that is also trying to explore like adult animated movies. So that can be cool. Again, I'm saying that it doesn't have to be just Sony Animation. It can be like DreamWorks or Illumination if they want to do any original stuff they want to explore. So that can also be a possibility in the future. But yeah, it's not gonna only like open the gates of like what diverse stuff it can explore, and like what other like creators can make their own like original movie that explores different stuff, and from other show creators. But also, but this also like help like move the animation medium forward. Like again, like I mentioned, like my indie animation video, where like without original stuff, the animation can't be moved forward, or it can move forward through like different IP that does fresh stuff with the material they got. Which I haven't said that, but that's like another cool way that can like move the medium forward. But personally, in my opinion, I think the true way to move the animation medium forward is to like make original stuff with different stories that explore stuff with different animation styles, which again, bring back to the beginning of the video, is what the Mitchells and the Machines did, where explored a different story, which had an original story with a family and machines, which it is familiar, but it does it in a new way, in animated form, with a sick original art style, and different ways it does it with that art style, and different ways that the film explored. Actually, not the way the film explored, the way the film did it, and executed that really well. Like with just the story, the characters, the animation, and like the effect, and again, winning an Academy Award, actually, or getting nominated for an Academy Award, which either one or two. But yeah, executes all of that perfectly in the Mitchells vs. the Machines. So again, you can do the same thing as what that film did with his own movie. What is a really cool way to do that? That can also be kind of thought-provoking as well, with Thai culture as well, and that's gonna be explored in the movie. But yeah, also just overall, it just makes me exciting to know this is a movie that's even happening, because ever since like season 1, I've been such an Amphibia fan since the very beginning, and it wasn't until like what, the second half of season 3 that I even decided to even make this channel, and to really kind of make it go full circle, that I actually made a trailer. Yeah, if y'all remember, I made a video called the grand finale trailer for Amphibia, because I knew that finale was gonna be a huge event, And it really was, cause like it was action packed. It was action packed. It was intense. It was intense, action packed. It was emotional. All the stuff that really made that finale so memorable and just made me love that show so much. Cause I cried like 5 times in the last episode how emotional that was. Cause man, it was just so impactful because that was a whole journey with all of these characters and the story that was being told through the show in its own way, and that was incredible. So, and also the same way in Steam Universe as well. Where, like in the finale, it was also like intense, action-packed, and also emotional by the very end of the show. So like it's just so cool to have this be made and be developing. Cause immediately as soon as the first shows come out, it's gonna be like the very first people that are gonna be on that first is the Amphibia and Steam Universe fandom, and that's gonna immediately bring the movie a lot of hype around it, because like, yo, we got the Amphibia creator of Amphibia and Steam Universe on working on this movie, which is awesome. So yeah, so like it's just gonna be it's gonna be awesome to even see that in the theater, or probably on Netflix. I hope it's in the theater so that we can meet with a huge audience and all that. So yeah, it's just so exciting to me to see this, because like it just brings it back around to the huge event thing that I probably hyped up with my trailer video. They got so many people excited about the finale, that so many people are gonna be so excited to see this in the full original animated movie, that people are gonna remember and talk about for like at least like a few months, or probably like a whole year if it's possible. Yeah, it's just so cool to even have this happen and just be a thing in the future for like Amphibia fans and Steam Universe fans to come together and witness in a big feature film. And just bring not only that, but also like a whole new group of people together, and just general audiences, just to see this thing and be like, and hopefully talk about this thing, hopefully how the story is and how the character work is. But still, I have no doubt that these two are going to make an absolutely memorable story that is going to be memorable and emotional at the same time, because emotional stories are what these two just nail at the most, and it's just like, it's gonna be so cool to see this finally in the big screen, or just in a huge feature film that is gonna be hopefully memorable and emotional when I watch it. So it's just, I'm just hoping all for the best for Matt Brawley and Rebecca Suger and the cast and crew they get to be involved in the movie, and the work it's gonna take, because like, man, it's gonna take some crazy work to make this thing happen, like the next like 3 or 4 years that's gonna be for this movie to be in development. So yeah, it's gonna be a good, like, waiting 34 years waiting on this thing to be a thing, to get more details and trailers for the movie along the way. So again, it's just amazing to see like happen, for like a big like fever dream for me as a Amphibia fan to see happen, because this is a huge like milestone, a new territory that Matt Brawley and Sugar are taking in the animation medium. So yeah, again, it's gonna be like a good like 3 or 4 year wait for this thing to be probably made and released in the most highest quality form, hopefully through Sony Animation. So that's gonna be a good time. So yeah, I just can't wait. So that's it. That's my whole deep dive and discussion about this the news about this. So what do you guys think? Do you want to add any more thoughts into this? Do you want to add like any more opinions or thoughts or mini theories you want to add about what you think could happen in this movie? So, and I can't wait for your thoughts. So leave them in the comments. If you like this video, like the video, subscribe, and subscribe for more stuff like this, because I do like making videos like this, like I said in my last video. So yeah, just leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next time, people. Bye bye.